everyone, Xander Gaming coming at y'all with another video. And in today's video, I want to go over the latest set in the One Piece trading card game, which is Royal Blood. The booster box for this set has a lot of really cool leaders in it and a lot of awesome cards that I feel like a lot of people have been waiting for to come out in the card game. And what I wanted to do today was just go over the top 7 kind of cards that you want to get from the set. Now, I won't be touching on any of the like parallels, SPs, mangas, anything like that. I just want to go off base rarity, you know, secret rare to super rare cards, and just do the top 5 to 7. In this video, I'll be doing the top 7 cards that you need to be looking out for in terms of value from the set, right? I mean, parallels and alt art, things like that, they kind of fluctuate a lot more. So I just want to give everyone kind of a basis of what your, you know, super rares, secret rares, etc. from the set that you'll need to build your decks, and give you some kind of idea about like what these cards are going for. Now I do this for I do this for the other trading card games as well. So I figured I'd start doing it for One Piece. But the number 1 card in value outside of, like I said, any SPs or alt arts is going to be this Trafalgar Law here. This is the secret rare Law. Really cool, awesome card. If you don't know what this card does, it is essential in the Law deck that came out from this set, but then it also goes in a lot of other good yellow decks. And you can see here the market price being at, you know, 24, 25 bucks. There's some low listings for 23, and I think that this is a fair price for this card because he's really strong and kind of really essential, especially if you want to play the Law deck. You have to have 4 of this card. Really strong card, really good card from the set. And I'm glad to see that this secret rare is holding its value some, where we'll get to our one later down that is not holding as much value, but spoilers, it's the Luffy, right? Not worth as much as the Law here. I think that if you pick this up anywhere between 20 and 25 bucks is a good price for this card, but be on the lookout if you want to build this deck. I say grab them now before people kind of figure out like how good this deck may be or may not be. But if it does, you know, get some tops and some big tournaments coming up, you could see this card shoot up, and you don't want to be caught slacking. I think as long as you get it for 25 or less, then it's a good deal because it is a secret rare, right? So that is the number 1 card from the set, excluding any special rarities, at 25 bucks. So with that being the case, you would think that maybe this set isn't worth a ton, right? Like if your secret rares aren't worth a ton of money, is it worth it to buy a box? And then as we go through this list, I would say that yes, this is worth buying a box of the set still, because there are so many good cards in this set, and all the super rares from this set can, you know, be played in other decks as well as the decks that they are intended to from the set. So I would say that this set is a buy. Now, going into the second most expensive super rare, surprisingly enough, is going to be the Sanji Royal Blood OP10 from this set. Now, this does probably have an issue being that it does have waifu tax, because it is Sanji, obviously, in Nami's body, which is really cool, pretty art, so the waifu tax is here, but also because this card is very generic and very strong. Market price is sitting at around 10. The most recent sale is 14, and you can see here the price has jumped up since the card came out, and people really realize just how good the card is. You can see when it came out, it was a $4 or $5 card, which is average for most super rares, and then once people realize how good it is in its any kind of red deck, because it's very generic, it's just a generic good card. If you don't know what it says, it only costs 3,000 power, and it is a 1k combo, nothing in life. It says your turn, this character gains 3,000 power. So it's a 3-drop, 6k essentially, super strong. And then on KO, you draw a card. This is such a good generic card. I do think that 15 is a lot for the card, but we have seen in the card game a lot of really generic good cards going for around $12 to $18, $20 range. So I honestly, it feels bad to probably buy this for 15, but you need to pick up your copies, you know, between 10 to 15. Pushing over 15 is a little high, but it's worth it. You could get a playset of this card, get you your playsets now, and it can be played in any red deck. It's so generic, it's so good. This is definitely one of the best cards to come out of the set, in my opinion, and I'm glad to see that it's the second most expensive card, being at, you know, essentially 14 bucks. We'll say even 14 bucks. Market price says 10, but there are, you know, some lower listings here, but you know, 0 reviews on some of these sellers, and you can see any seller that is actually got good reviews is selling it at $14. So we'll say the card is 14, 15 bucks. Pretty pricey card, but it is so generic and good. I promise you, like, this card is super strong. You really want to pick them up. Coming up in third place, so Sanji was second most expensive, and Tashigi will be the third most expensive rarity in the set here. Being the third most expensive, it is a super rare. It is very generic for green decks. It says if you have a green character other than Tashigi that would be removed by the field by your opponent's effect, you may rest this character instead. It is also a 2K combo out of the hand counter. Only costs you 3 and it's 4K, so not bad. Body on the board, but it gives you protection in green decks. Generically, any other green card other than Tashigi, you can rest this character to keep those characters from being removed. You don't have to get rid of the Tashigi, you just rest her. Which is really, really strong, because if they don't then, you know, swing into the Tashigi or kill her, then they're going to have to answer some other way. Really strong card. No wonder that it is at a $9 price range. You see some lower listings here sitting around $6. So we'll say that the market says 9. If you pick this up for 8, that's probably a good deal. This card is really, really good and generic. And you see that, you know, the Sanji and the Tashigi, for their respective colors, are just really good generic cards that are super strong, super good, that you can throw in any deck. The Tashigi being a 2K is kind of wild, though. Like, I was honestly expecting Tashigi to maybe be around the same as Sanji, but I get it. Red is in a little bit better of a spot right now in the meta, and a lot of the best decks are red, and Tashigi, you know, being in green maybe makes it a little less popular. But it is a really, really good card. You can see when it came out, it was $6 and then immediately shot up to this $9 price range. But this is the third most expensive. Bringing up the fourth slot is going to be our other secret rare. If you pull this guy from your box and you're looking to get value from the box, I am very, very, very sorry to tell you that your box is not going to make any money. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people say maybe this set isn't the best to buy a box of, but I disagree, because the super rares carry up what it's lacking from this Luffy. But even though it's a secret rare, it is only the fourth most expensive card in the set. And really, I'm kind of surprised, because once again, like, this set gives you a lot of generic cards that are good for the game, and this Luffy is very generic for black decks. It's a 6-drop, 7,000 power. It gives you a 1K combo, and it says once per turn, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. Really, really, really strong, meaning you can throw this in any black deck, play this character down, know that you're going to have a body that's safe at least once from the KO effects of your opponent. Really, really good. And it's an awesome art, right? Like, this is such a cool Luffy art here. One thing to note, it is a Straw Hat Crew Supernova Dressrosa. Very interesting subtypes to have on the card. And then also says, when attacking, you may place 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 1 card in their hand. This is really, really good, being able to get rid of your opponent's hand. Really good card. It is sitting around, you know, about $6, which is kind of sad for a secret rare. I say now, this is the one thing, if you want to take from this video, is I think that you should buy these up. Right now, at $6, buy as many copies as you can. Something's going to happen where someone figures out how good this card is and starts throwing it in a lot of decks, and it will shoot up to at least $15-20. Like, this card is amazing. I can't believe it's only at $6. You know, if I had the money for it right now, I would buy as many of these as I could off of the market and then try to reset it, because this card is so generic and so good. I love this Luffy. It coming up as the 4th most expensive card and it being the secret rare is a little upsetting to see a secret rare only be around $6, but it works out for people who want this card and need it. But really good card, bringing up the 4th slot. In the 5th place is going to be Smoker. So green, having 2 of the top 5 cards from the set is awesome. This card's sitting around $5, $5.50 and some change. Take it there. I do know that this one was really hyped, right? When it came out, it started out at 5, and it was one of the first cards people were like, oh, wow, this card is amazing. You got to play this card. It shot up to 10, and you see it kind of dip and dive everywhere in between this range and settling back down to around, you know, $4 to $6 is a good price for this card. It is the 5th most expensive card from the set on base rarity, and it's really good too, right? A 5-drop, 7,000 power, no counter and no life trigger, but he does have banish, right? And the art is really sick. It's Smoker and Tashigi's body. A little waifu taxi here too. I'm surprised this card's not more, to be honest, because the art is sick. It looks amazing. And then it says activate main, set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. Then you cannot set Dawn cards as active using character effects during this turn. So you just, essentially the smoker costs you 4, right? Because you're going to play it for 5 and you get 1 Dawn back once per turn, which is really, really cool. And it really helps out, you know, a lot of decks like Bonnie. I've already thrown a couple in my deck as well. I think the issue of it not being a counter in hand makes it a little hard for people to maybe try to run this out of 4 of. But it having Banish on the body is really not bad. I can see this smoker going into some Yamato decks as well, like being really, really aggressive. Yamato wanting to swing. Maybe the smoker comes out, gets Banish onto your opponent too to apply a little pressure, and maybe you just run a little bit more green generic, yellow generic good cards in your Yamato decks. But this deck, the smoker deck itself is really, really strong, right? I mean, you're going to need 4 of this in that actual deck, but it is such a strong card, really, really good, bringing up 5th place in the $5 range. $5 for the card, not bad for a super rare. Coming up in 6th place, probably one of the biggest disappointments. I thought this would be way, way more expensive, but it makes sense, is Kuzan. He's bringing up 6th place in the super rares in value, and I think it's because he only goes in Blackbeard, right? If this was a little more generic, then maybe I could see it being a little more expensive, but it's essentially only made for Blackbeard. Even though I'll read the effect, says this character cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effects. So you can see a lot of cards in this set have some kind of protection or way to keep your people alive. And I think that maybe Bandai was thinking that, yeah, we need cards like this to kind of slow the game down some and give you some kind of agency to keep your characters on board, which makes sense. The other effect is where it kind of only sits into a Blackbeard deck, which it says activate main, you may trash this character, draw 1 card, then play up to 1 Blackbeard Pirates type character with a cost of 5 or less, other than Kuzan from your trash. Really, really good card. You play him out. Say what you really want to do is keep him out for that turn, cycle your deck some, and then on the next turn, swing with this character. He can't be removed by your opponent's effect, so it's a safe swing. And then what you could do is then trash him to draw a card and then play another body out to put on the board, which is really, really good getting value off this Kuzan because you don't have to tap it and do it. You just trash him, draw the card, and then play when you're a Blackbeard Pirates card. So it's free cycle for the deck, free protection on the board, and a really, really good card. It makes sense that this one is not very expensive, only sitting around, you know, there's some low listings at $3 that you can see here, but it immediately jumps up to, you know, the $5 and $4 range, which sitting almost at an even $5 is not bad for this super rare. And you can see now that these super rares are adding up to make up for the difference on that Luffy in your secret rare hit, if that's what you get. And then going on to the 7th card from this list that I wanted to talk about is going to be Eustace Captain Kidd. He is an 8-drop, 9,000 power, no counter, and no trigger in life. But he is really, really essential in the Kid deck, right? The yellow Kid deck, really cool, strong deck. A lot of people are going to want to play, and you're going to want to run for this card. It is only sitting around, you know, market price says $3.30. Lowest listings with shipping are $4. So just call it an even $4-5 card. Not bad for a super rare in the set. And he says on play, you may rest this character, trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards, which is really, really strong because you just play him and immediately get value. So it's almost like he has Rush, right? Like you play him and you trash it, but it's better than Rush because you trash the card. Your opponent doesn't get to check it, doesn't get to add it to their hand, and that's why I think this card is... this is another one that I would buy up. If I was you and you like to play yellow, generic, good stuff, I would buy this card up, have a bunch of your play sets because people are going to see more and more just how generic this card is for you to be able to play in all of your yellow decks. He also says, end of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, draw a card and trash 1 card from your hand. So then it's free cycle for you as well. It's a big body. It's Supernova Kid Pirates. Really cool art on the card. It is a really good card that I think that you should pick up at this price range. It is so good. Really, really good. Love to see it. But he does bring up 7th place. Those are the cards from the set in that order. The Trafalgar Law being the secret rare. And then, like I said, Sanji's, trade for him now. Get him because the card is hot. Really, really good. I would buy up all the Monkey D. Luffy's and the kids from the set that you could. All of these cards are just really, really good, right? Like, it really does add value to the set to have a 15... 24 you know, your super rares can really save the box. So if you get another 30 something bucks from your super rares, say you hit the law, then that's 50 something bucks. Almost you're sitting around $60 just from a couple of super rares. You don't feel bad even if it's a Luffy either that you hit. But these are the cards that I'm going over today. Please let me know what y'all think about the set. What super rares are you most excited for from the set? Let me know what you think about this Market Watch video. Please leave the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Peace.